What's up, people? This is your Inspirational Thursday Thought. I'm with another rock star, Talila Lewis. Oh my gosh. Have you heard? You know what you heard? What does H.E.A.R.D stand for?
Helping educate to advance the rights of the deaf.
Helping to educate and advance the rights of the deaf. She has been a phenomenal just inspiration. She just won the Paul Hearn Leadership Award at the AAPD gala here. She's going to be awarded this evening. What made you passionate about this work?
Saw injustices going on surrounding deaf people not having access to the justice system, specifically with respect to wrongful convictions involving deaf people who just never had a chance at justice. So needed to get involved. Couldn't find an organization out there that was working on it, so called some friends and we started an organization.
Wow. And so what's been the greatest challenge that you've had?
I think the greatest challenge is systemic injustices, systemic oppression, people really not understanding deaf culture, deaf communication, and the impact of hearing loss on communication and what that means for whether it's client representation or access to trial or access to prison services and programming.
So, when we're looking at the deaf community, there are a lot of stigmas that are out there. What are some of the ones you run across time and time again that people just don't understand?
I think the biggest issue that we face in the justice system is people don't understand that American Sign Language is its own language, meaning people who use American Sign Language sometimes don't speak English because ASL is their language, just like a Spanish speaker, a Russian speaker, or what have you. So the justice system isn't prepared to deal with people because they don't understand the cultural context of what they're supposed to be dealing with. So I think that's the biggest thing. So with spoken language minorities, people tend to understand. It's visual language minorities that people just don't get it, right? The natural assumption by most hearing people who aren't familiar with deaf culture, who haven't been exposed is, oh, that deaf person, let me just write back and forth with them instead of, hey, what's your best mode of communication? Do you sign? Would you prefer to read lips? Which is kind of natural for people like us who are around deaf people. It's, how can we communicate effectively? You ask the person who's had the disability or who is deaf. But that's not how it works in our system. So they impose things on people as opposed to asking. So that's kind of what we come across. But with spoken language minorities, it tends to be that they're like, oh, get an interpreter in there.
Right. So now with the business, with the organization that you have, what is the growth opportunity that you have right now?
So I have a former intern who wants us to have a H.E.A.R.D office in each region of the nation, and I think I would agree that would be an awesome thing if we could have just H.E.A.R.D offices kind of littered throughout the United States, so we can make sure that everyone in each region is being served.
Yeah, you heard. So this is Talila Lewis. She's been a rock star. I hope you enjoy this interview. What an inspiration! And we say to you, you go forth and inspire your world.